As we start with a new save here, I'll start with an introduction. My name is Arconian, and this is Ghost Recon Wildlands, any percent. This is my first speed run, and also my first attempt at the full run in a single segment. As a note, I am adding this commentary after the fact. Being new to this, I didn't really feel comfortable talking to myself for more than 3 hours, especially when I didn't think I had any chance at the record. The run prior to this was timed up until El Muro, and then I messed around learning the rest of the route off the clock, leading to the lack of splits from there on. The goal of this run was just to get a complete run up there and get some splits for me to practice against going forward. Right off the bat here, we are going to call up Pack and have him summon up a sports car for us. Special vehicle summons, such as the sports car, are available to all new save files on an account once they've been found from the game's loot box system. Those loot boxes also can contain guns, which often mirror guns you find in the game, but without the ability to customize them and normally with a custom paint job or something similar. I use both in this run as I didn't explicitly see any rules against them, and the previous world record also has New Game Plus type unlockables in the form of an assault rifle that a blank account would not have. I'm not actually sure this saves any time on average because you spend more time running to get the vehicle, and it is much harder to control than the truck you run past. But I did have one gold split with it that was absolutely amazing, so I decided to keep using it. Diverging just a bit from the world record route, we're not going to drive quite as far up the road here. We're actually going to jump down here, follow the mountain on down, so that we end up right by the start of this road. And this is because we are so much faster on the ground, we want to be on the road as much as possible. One of the biggest new things I'm using for this run is the quote-unquote new helicopter controls, as opposed to the classic controls used by BNH247. While I actually prefer the classic controls myself, the new controls allow for a lot more maneuverability, and also allow the pilot to aim weapons mounted on the helicopter more easily.
Eyes on the target. Let's move. Don't want to spook the target. Switch to suppressors.
Easy. Camine. Here's the deal, asshole. You answer my questions, or I put a bullet in your gut and leave you to die in your own shit. ¿Lo entiendes?
Chill the fuck out, cabron. What do you want?
Amaru. Where can I find him?
You serious? That's what this is about? Sure thing. He's at Atoya Farm. Go on. Then you can see what we do to people who fuck with us. People like you.
Engaging. Let me drive.
Maru's an old man. He's not gonna last long under torture.
Shit, if they've been working on him for a while, there's a good chance he's already dead.
Maybe, maybe not. Amaru's a major player in the rebel movement. The cartel will keep him alive as long as they can to find out what he knows.
Can't afford to take any chances. There's too much riding on this.
As BNH247 mentioned, your AI squad is surprisingly effective at shooting from the side of a helicopter, especially in comparison to how ineffective they can be once you're on the ground. So coming into a Toyo farm here, I'm going to just order them to assault right away, so they clear most of the SB in the area while I get to park the helicopter. Shoot the lock, talk to Amaru, and out we go.
What's left of him anyway? Come on, I'm getting you out of here.
I am not pressing shift or space there. In some cases, the helicopters will just decide to pop up like that with using the new controls, despite the fact that you haven't told them to lift off. So, in the future I remember to hold control, so I stay rooted to the ground so anyone can get in who needs to.
Where are you taking me? Back to your friends.
Entonces Pacatari has made his deal with the malditos extranjeros.
The young fool. Take it up with him, senor.
I'm not sure what just happened there. I don't remember having that camera pop in game, but then again with new helicopter controls you do occasionally have to fight the camera.
I got eyes on a weapons case.
Are you hurt?
I actually forget to pick up the sniper in that weapon case there. I don't actually need it for the run, I don't plan on using it, but it does make it easier to fast travel to this location, which we will do at least twice. So, not having the risk of accidentally clicking on it, rather than the fast travel place, is worth a couple extra seconds.
They're a key part of Santa Blanca's security operation. Remember to check out Bowman's briefing on their chain of command.
Guy in charge of security is El Muro, of Wall, personal bodyguard and childhood friend to El Sueño. El Muro's little brother is La Plaga, nasty piece of shit. Very active on social media. Head Sicario for the cartel.
The hunt starts now. We want Sueño, we gotta work our way up the hierarchy. First targets are Yuri and Polito.
As before, we aren't going to fully land, instead we'll get close to the ground and then order an assault. This will have our squad clear out most of the SB in the area for us, making this a whole lot easier and safer while we grab intel and major intel in this area. This is the only province where we will gather normal intel, and this location we're at right now always has both major intel and normal intel. In this case, the major intel was in the house while the normal intel was in the church, but they can just as easily have been swapped. Ordering the squad to move up here because occasionally it'll spawn in a reinforcements truck, and this is the direction that it'll arrive from more often than not, so the squad can at least protect me while I'm gathering the major intel.
Mark, standing by for go
I
order.
got a 20 in the garage where Polito parks his sports car. You snag that, you snag his GPS. Maybe something there tells us where he and his girlfriend are.
You fuckers trying to lose me? Closing ranks.
Sure are a lot of lights and switches up here.
Right around here, Bowman often calls in to connect you to Pac, who tells you about the Rebellion Rising mission. We will keep interrupting that call by being spotted to delay the spawn-in of the convoy that is part of that mission, but for whatever reason Bowman doesn't contact us right away, and instead waits until after we've gotten this second major intel.
Fire! Weapons free, weapons free!
To our 11 o'clock here is a small mobile light array thing. They are explosive and can kill the other helicopter at this site, so I was taking extra care not to accidentally land close enough to cause it to explode, as that would take out both helicopters. In being so cautious, I accidentally broke the blades on my heli, but it doesn't really matter as the other one is still alive, so I was able to go and just grab that one.
This will make a nice souvenir. This document mentions an Unidad captain who sends prisoners to Yuri and Polito for interrogations. He's got to know where our lovebirds are.
But he's sitting in the Unidad firebase.
Nomad, I've got Pacatari on the line. Sounds like he needs our help.
Put him through.
Hola, compadre. I have a problem in Itacua, and Bowman says you may be able to help.
Hold up.
I spent a while trying to find a good place to land the helicopter, and while you can land it safely in the gap just a bit off to the left there, I found the time delay to do that, plus climb the building and get up to the second or third story, just really wasn't worth it. Instead, I'll break the blades on this one, drop down, interrogate the commander, and then go grab the helicopter that's guaranteed to be in this camp anyway.
You may as well kill me now. I'm not talking, carajo.
Well, that's your choice. But with a pair of sick fucks like Yuri and Polito, one day that might be you hanging from their ceiling. You can't trust them. It would be a relief if I took them out of your life.
Look, I'm not a snitch, but let's just say, yeah, they freak me out. The thing is, they're not even in Itacua.
So call them back to Itacua. Tell them you've got a package ready.
Oye, Bolito. I got a lamp ready for delivery. Un borrego. Vale.
There really isn't any risk of being killed during this interrogation, so there isn't any reason to hide, but right afterwards this guard can be a problem. He's not guaranteed to be there, but I still always try to drop down on those cement blocks to the right. Landing on them gives you controlled Nomad back just a bit sooner and can allow you to kill the guard before he kills you. As we can see here, I failed that and got downed because of it.
You'll be okay, I'm on my way.
Fuck took you so long.
You normally don't have to worry about this SB guard. He really can't do anything to you while you're taking off, so it's not that big a risk. But apparently this time he decides to throw a grenade. I was terrified.
Grenade!
Pack, Nomad here.
Another small deviation, we are going to stop in here and grab the bullet resistance bonus medal, which will give us a 5% reduction in bullet damage taken. It is hard to know how much this helps over the run because 5% is so small, it really leaves you doubting if it's worth it. But there are enough firefights throughout the rest of the run that preventing being downed even once is probably more time saved than the small detour it takes to grab this now. We want to get to this garage as quickly as possible to interrupt Pack again. So long as he doesn't get out all of his speech, the convoy will not spawn in for the Rebellion Rising mission. Since its default spawn location is closer to where we will be after this mission, we want to keep that delayed. We will land on the roof here, which allows us to grab the Born Leader bonus medal, which will improve our AI squad's deadliness by 8%. Again, it's such a small amount that it can't be easily credited for any particular time saves, but also again, the time investment to get it is so minor that we might as well.
Grenade, get to cover.
My driving through this section is just really bad. I'm really shaky, and because of it I crash into quite a few things and lose a lot of speed and time. It's definitely a section of the run I'll have to work on some more.
Even if the condoms come standard, it's a sweet fucking car.
I never could understand narco bling. You get an expensive whip, put chrome rims on it, then you just drive it around the same dusty towns you were driving around before.
You totally want one of these cars, don't you?
Fancy car, fancy suit, still the same street, so what's the point?
Air conditioning. Pack, this is Nomad. How do you read? Over.
Loud and clear. Go for Pack.
Sometimes right here there is an Unidad patrol just sitting on the side of the road. That can cause the dialogue to get delayed even further because again we're considered spotted for half a second. In this case they didn't spawn, so we don't get that delay.
Have broken their spirit. The fires of revolution have almost gone out.
Spare me the rhetoric, Atari. Just tell me what you need.
There is a cartel supply convoy passing through the province soon. Capturing it would give my people much needed supplies and restore their morale. Can you do this?
Consider it done. All right. Now it's up to Bowman and the activity. They'll check the car's GPS for locations where Yuri and Polito may be hiding out.
Taking orders from Pakatari now?
Katari needs this convoy. We are gonna give it to him. The more he depends on
Oh
us,
hey, there's that patrol.
the more we can get out of him in return.
Not too much to say about the convoy, just get in there and shoot them until they stop. I do use the truck as a ram as it does do decent damage and can help take out one of the escorts, which will make the tagging safer. Unfortunately, the price for ramming can mean swerving and losing control of the vehicle, which I do here.
Oh, here we go. They've seen us.
Because we did take out the rear escort, I head on over and tag right away. The front escort shouldn't be enough to kill you during the animation, so it should be safe. Unfortunately, the Comstruct did not want to get tagged. I assume that had something to do with the fact that it's in the process of exploding. Because it exploded, we do only get half supplies from it, but that is enough for the skills we will need for this route. Our goal now is to fast travel as soon as possible to complete this mission, and because we can't fast travel when enemies are around, we can either kill the enemies in the area, or leave the area far enough away that we can fast travel. My original assessment was just to kill the enemies, but the lieutenant in the area made things much more difficult, because he wants to keep running and we're still considered engaged for the entire time that he's alive. Instead, I decided to back off so we can just get unengaged and get out of here. Because we gathered normal intel earlier, we know we need to get to Pantoja now, otherwise we'd have to go gather some right now. It turns out you can fast travel straight to Pantoja. Unfortunately, I failed to do that because I right-click just once instead of right-click hold.
Let's go.
We got hostiles in the area. Man, y'all never let me drive anymore. Just 'cause that one time?
Dig in. The cartel's gonna hit this place hard.
We should never need normal intel again, so lieutenants are really more of just an annoyance for us. They just get us into the combat state and then leave, so I'm going to shoot this one now so he leaves sooner. So now we're going to switch out our MP5 for a P90 door kicker. While it's better in almost every category, the major benefit it has is a 50-round mag. We do lose the silencer, but we rarely need quiet. At this point it occurred to me that we're going to be fighting a lot of vehicles coming up here, so a grenade launcher would be great right about now. Unfortunately, we hadn't hit level 5 yet, so we can't have it yet, even though we do have all the supplies and skill points necessary.
Good shooting. Let's clean up and move on. Shit balls.
I'm opening fire on these shitheads.
Normally this car drives right along this road straight to where I'm standing. For some reason they ended up over in left field there and just got out, which is why I was just so stunned and confused and waited until I saw the tags appear before I started firing on them. I mentioned that 50-round mag earlier, and while it's great, it also does let me get a bit careless. I can often fire off way more than I need to, which in this case leaves me with no ammo. Just like at the midway mark of this mission, our goal as soon as this is over is to fast travel as soon as possible. To do that, we again need to not be engaged. And so I saw some red for Santa Blanca in front of us, and started firing, before I realized I just killed a civilian. It's not the end of the world so long as you don't kill too many in game over, but it is still time wasted that I could have been killing enemies instead. Because we are now no longer engaged, we can immediately travel over to Echo, grab a helicopter, and get ready for the next mission.
Well done, compadres. My speech was
This time I remember to grab that sniper rifle, so the next time I fast travel here I don't accidentally click on it, which I nearly did this time.
Viva la revolución!
Glad we could help. Now what have you got on Yuri and Polito?
Nothing yet, amigo. Those two, they cover their tracks well. but my people are working on it. We will know something soon. In the meantime, my revolutionary brothers in Itacua stand ready to help if you need them. Just call, and they will come.
I'll keep that in mind. There's a weapons case over here.
Now we're just waiting on the call from Pac, telling us about this village that is burning right in front of us. Unlike other calls, this one can't be interrupted by combat, so as soon as we get it, we can get in there.
One of my lieutenants managed to escape from them. He fled to a village called Culta. Rather than give my man up to the cartel, the villagers hate him.
Goddamn bravery right there.
In response, Santa Blanca razed every home and executed all the villagers. My lieutenant is still being kept alive. Probably so he
Because we got here while the Pac call is still going on, the captured lieutenant hasn't actually spawned in yet, but that's okay, because we can just wait for him in the cell.
You okay, hermano?
What do you want from me?
Yuri and Polito, the fuckers who tortured you. We're here to make them pay for what they did. But we need to know where they took you.
We didn't travel far. I remember that much, and it was quiet, out in the country somewhere. There was a smell, like old animal skins. That's all I know. I'm sorry.
It's all right. At least now we know they're close by. Gracias.
Nomad, we finally got a 20 on Yuri and Polito. The activity cross-referenced the car's GPS with that description you got from the prisoner. They're at a hunting lodge. Rumor has it they use that spot for their enhanced interrogation.
Send us the location and we'll take care of it.
Put them in the ground for me. Make sure they feel the pain.
Advance on the lodge. Stay alert.
Hang back, that tango might spot you.
Move in. Watch those doorways and corners. This must be where Sandoval cashed in. Bowman said they kept...
Like a lot of areas with tunnels, our squad does not like to listen to orders while in this area. They will respond very slowly, if at all.
Fucking late. Time to make it right.
That failed grenade throw hurts to rewatch. In theory, that should be going towards these two guards here, so they're not a problem. If I hadn't failed that throw, the second grenade would have been used to dissuade Polito from running into the basement. Since that didn't really work, I decided to shoot at him, but that doesn't really seem to work either, so I switch back to Layuri. Surprisingly, Polito isn't too far into the basement by the time I get down there, so I'm able to shoot him before he gets to his extra guards.
You know how in the movies people always act like revenge isn't satisfying? Like it doesn't make them feel any better?
Sure.
Well, I feel fucking great. Taking out that lovey-dovey horror show also earned us some points with the locals. Make contact when you find something new. Bowman out.
Yuri is down.
Hold up. We need to rally closer.
I got it. I'll fly.
They got backup rolling in.
They're coming this way.
This flight is pretty uneventful, but at the end of it there are some anti-air, so it is wise to keep low to the ground. just not that low to the ground. In pretty much every province, we will have to stop at some point to trigger the call from Bowman about that province. Sadly, you have to be on foot for the call to start, and it is interruptible, so you want to stay out of combat for the duration of the call. Ideally, we would stop as soon as we enter the province, start the call, and then continue traveling on by vehicle from there. For Montioc, though, that really isn't an option. By the time we are in the province, we're already right where we want to be. So instead, we get to sit here waiting until the call is over.
I need you to gather intel on the cartel's training ops and get me an ID on the senior instructor.
Solid copy, Bowman.
I don't know what it is about Montioc, but the Santa Blanca here seem to throw grenades much more frequently than elsewhere. Not sure if that's just confirmation bias, or if it has something to do with the province's difficulty rating being maxed out. Regardless, since I don't want to lose the helicopter, I'll order my squad to move forward a bit so any grenades tossed their way hopefully won't destroy the heli. Looking at it now though, where I ordered the squad to move to is still way too close, and so I was really lucky no one decided to get explosive happy.
Downloading now. I'm pushing the take direct to Bowman. Stand by. Bowman, this is Nomad. I'm sending you message logs from a cartel comm center here in Montreal. If we're lucky, the name of the cartel senior instructor is in there.
I'm getting it now. Wait one. No joy. There's nothing in here that
If we did lose this helicopter, there are backups along the route we need to take anyway. We can grab a car here, go in the direction we need to go for this mission, and get right to an airfield that'll let us take an helicopter.
How did that help us?
BNH 247 shows off another backup strat for losing a helicopter here, which you can do by quitting to the main menu, continuing the save, and then fast traveling to Montioc Alpha to snag the helicopter that will always be there. Because the game is currently timed in real time, and my loads are pretty long, I avoid as many loading screens as possible, so the 3 loading screens for quitting to main menu, joining back in, and then fast traveling aren't super viable for me. Once we reach the search party, I order the squad to assault and kill off all the guards, leaving just the lieutenant we need to interrogate. If we don't get close enough to him with the helicopter to scare him, then he will hop in that car and we'll lose a lot of time chasing after him. Also, thanks to what appears to be a bug in the new helicopter controls, we can't land on any of the mud in this area, and need to stick to the more solid ground. That is the main reason we don't just land between him and his car, scaring him in the process. If we do land in the mud, we can no longer take off with the new controls, so we'll have to switch back to classic controls, get a bit off the ground, and then switch back to the new controls.
Boss says we get to make an example out of him so the others don't get the same idea. We're gonna drag him back and let the other recruits take turns on him with a machete.
Where's this little chicken shit now?
We don't know for sure yet, but we're getting close. One of the other search parties thinks they found his trail.
Where's this other search party? Tell me and maybe I'll let you go.
Okay, chinga.
Closing in on the deserter. Let's sweep the area where he was spotted and see if we can find him.
Got eyes on another search party. We gotta be in the right grid.
Cartel's closing in. We'd best haul ass and find this dude before they do.
Copy that.
I still haven't managed to flawlessly run up to this dude and knock him out. Instead, I tend to run up to this dude, flounder around for a bit, get shot in the face once or twice, and then knock him out.
From here on out, I talk, you listen.
Ordering the squad to go between myself and the enemies, both to defend me while I put away the prisoner, but also so that if they decide to throw grenades, hopefully they throw it at the squad who are far enough away to not have the helicopter explode.
In position. Contact unit, say the word. Let's close ranks.
Looks like we riled them up.
Engaging hostiles.
Moving down troops. We're moving in.
You want to get away from the cartel, Emilio?
I don't have any proof on it, but it seems to me that every time there are enemies waiting for you outside of a load zone, the loading screen ends up taking a lot longer. Because our previous helicopter ended up in black smoke after that mission, I decided to run for the helicopter that's always here at this base, which, in the end, looks like to have been a good choice. Unfortunately, this helicopter never respawns, so by taking it now we lose a potential time save later in the run when we will be fast traveling back here for the final mission.
Got some background for you on Carl Buchhardt. Looks like you were right. His 214 has him in Iraq with 3rd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment back in '03, discharged in '06, and then he drops off the radar.
I'm getting the notion he's kept in shape.
Our deserter tells me he's at a cartel base located inside the abandoned Choza Padre silver mine. Find Buchhardt, take him out. Killing him will disrupt the cartel's training program for months.
I ordered the squad to actually enter the mine, because sometimes they just decide not to. This ends up being a mistake, as during the next section I forget to tell them to regroup on me or to move forward, so I end up just going this alone.
No hesitation. Jesus, it smells like a slaughterhouse in here.
The hell kind of training is Buchhardt doing?
The first thing a Sicario learns is what's
Hold up.
Get down.
Right here is where I finally remember that my squad is just going to stay there until I give them a new order, so I tell them to move forward. Probably should have just been regroup at this point, because they would have gotten to me a lot faster.
A copy.
Let's get back on mission.
At this point, we're high enough level now to unlock the grenade launcher perk, which will let us equip a grenade launcher onto our assault rifle, and we're going to do that right away. The grenade launcher is really important for taking out vehicles, which we'll have to do through a lot of the rest of the run, but it's also good for Buchhardt here because it can just shoot him when he's hiding behind cover.
Sicario recruit learns is what it's like to kill a human being. To bring in prisoners and make the recruits take
I haven't realized it yet, but it seems my squad found some enemies that came from a side tunnel and ended up downed as a result.
kids. The recruits know that if they hesitate, they're next.
Shift position.
Right about here is where I realize it, when I get downed and it goes straight to game over.
Relax, we're still good.
Go.
A copy.
We spotted one with submachine guns.
Okay, we're still good.
I need you. Jesus, it smells like a slaughterhouse in here.
The hell kind of training is Buchhardt doing?
The first thing a Sicario recruit learns is what it's like to kill a human being. To bring in prisoners and make the recruits take turns on them with hammers and machetes. Sometimes it's men, sometimes women, sometimes it's little kids. And the recruits know that if they hesitate, they're next.
Hold on. Shit balls.
Take cover already.
This is an example of where the squad just doesn't want to enter the tunnel, and so in this case I end up just running forward without them. I do end up getting downed, but that's actually a benefit because it does force the squad to teleport to my location. And since they weren't downed, that means we can continue from here, no problem.
Hang in there, I'm coming to you.
Fucking hell. Move there.
Roger. This way. What do you want us to do? Target's marked. Standing by for go order.
Go. Keep moving.
I'm engaging Tango.
This was the moment where I realized, so long as there were enemies in sight, a move order wasn't actually going to get them to move. Instead, having them regroup on me will have them disengage from the current fight and get back to my position. This moment was particularly terrifying because if I get downed again, we'll fail the mission and have to restart it again.
Go.
Hooah!
It's over, Bookhart. You're done.
Good work in Monteok.
Now we want to fast travel to the southeast corner of Itacua, but again I'd rather not quit to main menu due to all the loading screens that requires. Instead I decided to run out of the tunnel that I know is in the back of the cave here, in hopes that it'll let us disengage from the enemies we passed on the way here. I hadn't used that tunnel since my casual playthroughs, and forgot where the entrance to it was, which did result in a small time loss.
We got him. Bookhart's dead.
Hell of a way for a ranger to die. Bookhart chose this, don't forget that. We did what we had to do.
Big news. Sueño told El Muro to take out La Plaga, but instead of killing his kid brother, El Muro's trying to sneak him out of the country.
So Sueño's... Right.
Wait, you know what? Never mind.
So Sueño's right-hand man is turning against him.
Even better. We know where La Plaga is. Let's wrap this up. I'm tired of execution videos.
This would be our pleasure. I'll drive.
We're moving into Ocoro here, just to trigger the Bowman call and pick up a major intel while we're in the area.
Bowman, this is Nomad. We're on the ground in Ocoro. What have you got for us?
Ocoro is the heart of cocaine production in Bolivia. The network there was built by El Yayo and predates Santa Blanca by more than a decade. When El Yayo joined the
The major intel will spawn in either this location or across the road to the northwest, and I'm just guessing which will be the major. Unfortunately, it won't turn from normal intel into major intel until Bowman finishes the briefing on El Emisario. I have been considering gathering one of the minor intels now before the call ends, as it might force the other location to become the major, and it wouldn't be any lost time as we're stuck listening to Bowman. But it would possibly prevent any time lost to guessing the wrong location. I decided not to try it this time because my splits were looking pretty good, and I wanted to just keep going.
El Emisario's assistant handles the rest. Get in there, gather intel on Ocoro's production sites, and start fucking things up. That'll put pressure on El Emisario to come back to Ocoro and get things back on track before Granddad finds out. When that happens, we grab him and use him to get to El Yayo.
Getting an upload from Bowman. Looks like she's got some intel on El Emisario. Check it out. Got a location on a cocaine factory operating out of a converted slaughterhouse here in Ocoro.
What are we waiting for? Let's go light that shit up.
Just one problem. The factory door requires a key code to open it.
So where do we get the code?
According to this, El Emisario's assistant has it. We need to track him down.
Their LT's escaping.
I'll pilot.
La Plaga's getting ready to flee the country with his big brother. We can't
Taking
let
a
that
shot.
happen. Take out La Plaga before he gets away.
This is a change that has happened due to the Sam Fisher mission that was added post-launch. It has a proximity trigger we can't help but hit, so we get an extra call now, and after La Plaga we'll have some post-call dialogue to deal with.
I know this guy. Don't give him any shit, or he's liable to feed you your own liver. Patching him through now.
Nomads, this is Matchwood. How do you read?
Matchwood? I read you 5 by 5.
I'm in country without my usual team. A girl says you're pipe hitters who know the neighborhood.
You tell us what you need, we'll make it happen. Wait. Fucking hell!
I'm hoping to get the hell out of there.
What the fuck is that? Weed smoke.
Smells more like crack rock. Say what you will about La Plaga. Dude knows how to throw a going away party.
Often there are two enemies in this room, so I was a bit perplexed that there weren't, but as I entered the next room and started getting shot, I realized that's where the extra guard had to be. What I didn't expect was a guard who's normally further down this hallway also being in this room.
I got you, man. Just hold on.
God damn, that was close. Familiarize yourselves with Bowman's briefing on Santa Blanca's coke production pipeline.
People at the top are El Yacht.
Got eyes on La Plaga. Let's take him down. Found a tunnel. I'm hearing engine noise.
As we kick down the door to La Plaga here, our goal is to shoot 2 grenades from the grenade launcher, one to damage him and destroy the bike, and the second to kill him. Unfortunately, the first goes way wide and hits nothing. And afterwards, he does not die to 2 grenades, so I just run up and kill him.
Plaga down. Repeat, the plague is dead.
Only a matter of time before El Muro finds out his little brother's gone.
Hopefully, we can deliver the news in person.
Now that we have no mission dialogue taking precedence over it, and that we're out of combat, we should have the rest of the Sam Fisher call play out now, but for some reason it just doesn't. Instead we go straight to the dialogue we'd normally get after the phone call. This dialogue is skippable, although I haven't figured out a reliable way to do so. Last time I was here, I was able to skip it by spotting that Sicario leader and having one of my squad mates tell me about it. This time, unfortunately, that doesn't happen, so we lose about a minute just listening to this call because we can't get the start call for Flor de Oro.
He was a kid. Apparently, somebody faked his daughter's death. He's been shot, stabbed, tortured. That bastard's still ticking. Like Rasputin or something. And that takes something powerful. keep at it after all that shit happens to you? The Fishers spent decades walking side by side with death. That's tough. Sometimes. I think about the bad things we do for the good of our country. We travel overseas, take some lives, ruin others. I'd do it all again. In a heartbeat. But I still don't know if I'd
Go as far as Sam Fisher does. Bowman, we're in Flor de Oro.
The trees there may be pretty, but that province is the heart of Unidad corruption. We want to break up the love affair between Unidad and the cartel. That means taking down General Barrow.
The commander of Unidad. How hard is he to get to?
We've got no leads on the general's location, but we've got word of a data center at Unidad's Mob Jaguar. Our source tells us it's chock full of informed personnel. It may even tell tales about some of Unidad's less than savory operations.
Sounds like a good place to find leads on General Barrow.
I'm sending you the location of Mob Jaguar now. They probably got the data center underground to keep it cool. And our source couldn't get us any password access, so you'll have to hack in.
That's one less bad guy.
Coming up on Unidad's main operating base.
I'm seeing rail lines coming in and out. Watchtowers, warehouses. Is that a heliport?
Bowman's intel is up to snuff. The data center's somewhere underground. Let's go find the basement. Data center may be down here. Let's see where this tunnel leads us.
Get down!
Rally on me.
Copy that.
I thought I saw the keyboard flash, and I thought maybe it was possible to start the mission down here and I wouldn't have to go upstairs, but looking closer, that wasn't true.
Here's the terminal with access to the main system. Data transferring. Maintain the perimeter. Keep moving.
This mission tends to go pretty poorly, and especially this time I was just having a lot of trouble with my gunplay. I just couldn't decide if I wanted to be using my grenade launcher or my P90. Right about now I realize that it's not possible for Unidad to actually stop the transfer at this point, so I can just start going back up the stairs. Unfortunately, I get down in the process of trying to get to the stairs.
Hang in there, I'm coming your way.
Thanks.
While the stairs are a pretty slow option for leaving the base, Because there were so many Unidad in the area around here, I just didn't want to deal with them. I decided I'd rather take the stairs and get out. Especially since my helicopter hadn't broken from before, so I could safely grab it, and there shouldn't be anyone up at the ground level anymore.
We pulled some interesting intel from that data hack.
What have we got?
General Barrow's former aide is in jail. Turns out he knew a little too much about Unidad's dirty laundry, so Barrow locked him up. You set him free. He might feel like sharing the secrets he has in his own boss.
That dog will hunt.
We also found information that assets in place within Unidad may be exposed. Somehow, some Santa Blanca mook found out who they are, and he's planning to name them to a Unidad captain named Iglesia.
My absolute least favorite part of the new helicopter controls, it's very difficult to look behind you because you will lose speed doing so because it'll turn around to try and face. That's normally not too relevant to the run, but when you have helicopters with missiles attacking you, you have no idea when those missiles are coming in. So you have to kind of just wildly dodge and hope that you don't get hit. Thankfully, if you do get hit, there is a nice reliable backup helicopter in this area, but it does require some fast travel, so you do need to break contact with the enemies. In my previous run of this section, I found parachuting in was pretty effective as I didn't even get detected all the way through into the prison. I'm not sure if that was just a fluke or what, but that certainly doesn't happen this time.
They're on alert. Sniper's got us targeted. Grenade, move!
That's a really generous lock break there. There's no way I was even close to it, but apparently that counts.
Carajo, who the fuck are you? We're your best chance of stopping these motherfuckers. I'm looking for General Barrow.
Mierda. I used to be on that pendejo staff. He came to my birthday party.
Speaking of generous, this guard decides it would be rude to interrupt our conversation by killing me, so instead just runs to cover.
Daughter, the only family that viejo has left. She's a government paper pusher in some speck of a village in Flor de Oro. What the hell name does she use? Ah, Erendira. Erendira Buendia. You can use her to get to General Barrow.
Gracias. Good luck.
Right about now I've realized that the rest of my squad has been downed, and so if I get downed, we get a killed in action. At first that sounds like a very bad thing, so I do my best to stay alive, and then I realize, wait, mission is already complete. If we get a KIA, I get to respawn somewhere without all this heat on me.
We can use her to urge General Barrow.
We're going to go get that backup helicopter I mentioned earlier, which is best gotten by fast traveling to Alpha, taking a dirt bike, and then parachuting over to a helicopter. Parachuting may sound super slow, but in the end it actually is decently quick, especially when you consider how hard it is otherwise to get down to the base of the mountain.
You'll be able to track her yourself. Go get her, then get her father the
Unfortunately, I get the bike stuck here, and so since it is such a short distance to go, I just decide to run the rest of it.
Operation Kingslayer has all the makings of a political mess.
We sure stepped in shit this time.
It's when the bureaucrats start asking us to bend morals and laws that I start to worry.
But politicians do it all the time.
That's because politicians already have somebody ready-made to take the fall.
You mean us, don't you? You mean this time it's us. Great.
I'll fly.
Back it up, they're gonna see you.
Open fire. Keep an eye out. General's daughter should be around.
There really isn't too much to say for this next mission. The gameplay kind of speaks for itself.
There she is. Keep in mind she's our only lead. We need her.
And if she don't want to help,
Like I said, she's our only lead. Erendira, buen día. We're looking for General Barrow.
Lo siento. Mire, I cannot help you.
You can and you will. We know the General is your father. We only want to meet him.
¿Qué? Why should I believe you?
Because you don't have a choice. You think the cartel sicarios are bad? We are the people they have nightmares about.
Papa? Some gringos have found me. Americanos. I am not hurt. They say they only want to meet. No, I do not trust them. He says you are malos, peligrosos, but he has given me a location.
enemy activity, stay sharp.
We got a couple of fronts here, next to the checkpoint. Think we're all clear now.
Saddle up. We need General Barrow alive, but I don't expect him to be friendly. Want to get to that RV first.
Good to go.
This is the RP. Keep your eyes open. I don't trust the big man. It's the General.
You Yankees are proud bastards.
Ambush! General fucked us over. Get him! Vale, pendejos. Our good general knows when to surrender.
Didn't have to go down this way.
Of course it did.
Cabrón, you threatened my daughter. My only regret is that I did not bring more soldiers.
Sir, we come to you because we need your help.
This is not how one asks for help in Bolivia.
This isn't the normal kind of help we're asking. We're working with the rebels. We want to take down the Santa Blanca cartel. You can't be happy with how they're treating your country.
Do they treat it any worse than the Americans?
Sir, your daughter's safe. Whether or not you help us, you are coming with us. Approaching extraction point. Keep your eyes open.
We really want to keep our helicopter here, and we also would like to lose the Unidad Patrol if at all possible. We just so happen to lose them right as we enter the extraction point this time, which is great for us.
I was in La Paz trying to speak to the president with...
Chopper, down, down.
Ideally, I would have stopped to let the bowman call start now, so that the rest of it could have played out while we were traveling. Instead, I just kind of forgot, so we get to listen to that once we land.
Look at that.
Pretty good-sized city, considering the location.
Reminds me a little bit of Houston. Everything is built around the oil refinery.
We ought to be able to find some intel around.
Bowman, we're boots down in Libertad province. What can you tell us?
Libertad is where Santa Blanca gets the precursors it uses to refine coca paste into cocaine. It's a tricky process that requires special knowledge and a lot of very nasty chemicals. Intel on the ground is pretty thin. The local Buchon keeps a very low profile. We think he might be one of the cartel's top chemists, so...
And right here I realized, wait, is that a computer fan sticking out of Nomad's backpack? Nomad, what the hell's going on?
Copy that. We're on it. Looks like the boss's house. Let's go check it out. Nobody here. Search the house, see if there's anything useful. Got a location here for a chemical institute run by the cartel. Looks like the Buchon himself is responsible for training the students. Let's check it out.
Hang back, they see you. Okay, we're cool.
Right here is an example of the game just throwing stuff at you to throw stuff at you. We end up passing, I think, 3 different helicopters that could spot us in theory and cause trouble. Thankfully, we avoid all of them. I found landing next to this dump site is pretty reliable in general. This time I decided to land inside of it and skip the legwork of having to run through it.
The local oil and gas company used to train the locals and give them jobs once they graduated. Then, of course, the cartel showed up and...
That sniper isn't always on this corner of the building, but even if he is, he's quick to dispatch, and then after that you really don't have to worry about being spotted.
I got a cartel sniper.
HVT spotted. Looks like the local Buchon. Let's grab him and make him talk. Get that
Shit,
quieto.
Sicario with a minigun.
Oh God, don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I don't know anything, I swear. I'm just an assistant.
An assistant to who?
Marcus Jensen. He's the boss, you know? He runs everything.
Where can I find him?
He's supposed to be at the witch's market later, but I don't know when.
Get on the phone. Arrange a meeting with him at the market. Tell him it's important.
Then you let me go?
That depends on how convincing you are.
Hey, it's me. Look, there's something I need to show you. I can't tell you on the phone. Yes, it's important. Okay. He told me to meet him at the witch's market.
In case you feel the need to call him back.
Heads up,
Bowman,
narco with a
this is Nomad.
submachine gun.
The cartel Buchon in Libertad is a U.S. national named Marcus Jensen.
Got it. Let me
After we
run in there
interrogate
and
the
I'll
assistant,
put
just
them
run on out, grab your helicopter, and get out of here.
Nomad, I
Unless, of course, your helicopter decides to bug out like mine did here. For whatever reason, once I enter it, it immediately just pops me back out of it. It just won't let me pilot it at all. Thankfully, there is a guaranteed helicopter at the Chemical Institute here. It's just a bit slower to go grab. And you risk the guards seeing you.
Watch your targets.
Even though we know exactly where Marcus is going to be, we can't actually go there right away until we go to this location and get low enough for it to trigger us being here, and then we can move over to where he actually is. This three-way intersection is a great place to land. It's really easy, and in general, it's not very common for enemies to come around this area.
Whatever it is, it ain't good. Trust me.
Eyes on Jensen. Take him alive. Shit, Jensen's getting away.
I'm a scientist.
Hands. Show me your hands. Do it now.
Goddamn fascists. You've got no right. I'm an American citizen.
Stay where you are and put your hands on your head. Don't make me tell you again.
Yeah? Or what?
Hold on.
Get your goddamn hands off me!
You try that shit again and I'll put a bullet in both of your legs. You read me? Now shut up and move.
We done? Shit, kinda got all excited there. Unidad Verde approaching. Stay down.
Unidad patrol headed our way.
So I mentioned it was uncommon for enemies to spawn in this direction. Apparently this time they decided to. As a matter of fact, it's the first time I'd seen this. I was really hoping it would let me take off before they got to us, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and it ended up destroying my helicopter, and Marcus along with it.
Well, that was messy as shit.
Since I hadn't encountered that before, I didn't really know what my backup was going to be. Doing that mission by car is incredibly slow, so I really needed a helicopter. Thankfully there is one in this town, so I just went to grab that.
What the fuck, man? That was a civilian.
Buckle up.
Jesus. Go ahead, I'll meet you. Their lieutenant's running away. Say the word.
I swung out wide here hoping to break the engage status. Unfortunately, coming back towards this direction still had me hunted, which wasn't ideal, but it was doable.
We're entering the witch market.
El Mercado de las Brujas. This is where the locals come to buy good luck charms or luck potions or even a curse for their enemies. No shit.
Eyes up. If the intel is correct, Jensen could be here somewhere.
What the hell is a guy like Jensen looking for in a place like this?
Whatever it is, it ain't good. Trust me. We got enemy reinforcements incoming.
Tangos are heading the wrong way.
Eyes on Jensen. Take him alive.
Back off! I'm a scientist.
Hands. Show me your hands. Do it now.
Goddamn fascists. You've got no right. I'm an American citizen.
Stay where you are and put your hands on your head. Don't make me tell you again.
Yeah? Or what?
Opening fire.
Get your goddamn hands off me!
You try that shit again and I'll put a bullet in both of your legs.
I have no clue what causes this car to explode, but man, I want to see it every time.
Got it.
This is bullshit. You can't just arrest somebody for going to a fucking market. Save it, Jensen. We know all about you and the cartel. What I don't get is this. You're a scientist, right? So what the hell were you doing at a place like the witch market? Processing cocaine isn't just about solvents and reagents. Not the way I do it, at least. I get powders from the brew host that speed the process along and make the result more potent. Yeah? Like what? Like, fuck you. That's proprietary.
You got no fucking right, you hear me?
Now that Libertad is done, we're going to fast travel back to Itacua Echo and head northwest into San Mateo.
Let's roll.
Amigos, one of those prisoners you set free from Yuri Hipólito was my brother Julián. I did not even know if he was alive or dead. Muchas gracias.
I'm opening fire.
Hold the hornet's nest. Alright, breathe easy.
this is Nomad. What have you got on San Mateo?
San Mateo. Over the past few years, a lot of people have been disappearing from that province. Politicians, rebel sympathizers,
Anyone who's making life hard for the cartel.
anybody who ain't the cartel, period. We're talking hundreds of individuals, gone without a trace. Santa Blanca is definitely behind the disappearances, but no bodies have ever been found. Find out what happened to these people. Their families need a place to start looking. Then make sure this shit stops happening.
Understood. Coming up on Rosario. Cartel
This is the first time I've managed to land there without breaking the blades.
Opening fire on these fuckers. They know we're here.
I probably should have grabbed the helicopter that I brought in, but because there's a mortar in the settlement, I wasn't sure if I was going to get sniped before I could get off the ground, so I decided just to play it safe and go for a car that's down below. Despite my goal being to play it safe, I still end up getting down in this direction, so guaranteed the helicopter would have been faster. Although looking at it now, the helicopter does disappear from the minimap, so it looks like it exploded or died in some way.
You're gonna be alright, you hear me? I'm on the way.
Fucking hell. Download complete. Let's exfil and get the data to Bowman. Hopefully there's something here we can use. Hang
Choppers
on, I'll
approaching.
drive.
Sniper, down, down. Oh, here we go. They've seen us. Fucking smoke the helo.
Looks like the cartel's keeping high-value prisoners at a place called La Cárcel del Pueblo.
That's up in the hills.
These prisoners are...
Now that we have the first major intel, we need to grab a second. And since we'd like a helicopter after we grab that second major intel, we're just going to go grab a helicopter to get to the second major intel.
Grenade, move.
This location's really convenient. It's close enough to the rally point that we can fast travel here pretty easily, and there's always a helicopter here after a fast travel.
Sure are a lot of lights and switches up here.
And here's an example of what not to do with your helicopter. Thankfully it's not that punishing, because like I said, we can just fast travel back to the rally point, and this will respawn, but it is a small time loss.
I'm taking the bike.
I'll pilot. fire.
Fuck, engage.
We rattled somebody's cage. We'll go.
Shit, they
According to
spotted
this,
us.
a journalist named Lupe Vera has been investigating the disappearances in San Mateo. She's caused enough trouble that the cartel's gonna make her
Her disappear next. We've got her 20. Let's get to her before the Sicarios do. We're coming up on the journalist's last known location. Let's track her down and find out what she knows about the missing people.
We gotta figure the cartel's around, looking for her too.
Hola, camaradas.
What do you want, gringo?
We're looking for a journalist named Lupe Vera.
So are we, but it's too late. The cartel has her. They've taken her back to their base.
You planning a rescue?
Yes, but it would be suicide. The outpost is heavily guarded and I don't have enough troops.
You do now. We need to get to Vera, whatever it takes.
Then let's go. We haven't got much time. Anden, hermanos.
Let's ride.
This mission's pretty simple. Just fly on in, unlock the cage, and get out. The one problem is that there's a mortar in the settlement that can snipe you if the journalist decides to be slow in getting to the helicopter. For safety's sake, I just immediately run over and grenade the mortar.
Oh shit,
Drag
they're
out.
spotted.
Aquí, ayúdenme, por favor. Gracias. Fucking hell, it's good to be free.
You the journalist?
Me llamo Lupe Vera, but I don't know if I'll stay with journalism after this shit. To whom do I owe my rescue?
We're working with Takatari. We need any info you got on the people who are disappearing.
There is a rebel safe house near here. Everything I have on los desaparecidos is there.
Then let's go get it.
It's not just San Mateo, you know? People are being taken from all over Bolivia, not just by the cartel. Unidad is also involved. Some officers torture and murder innocents. And then send... The hideout is just ahead.
Good. Show us that intel on the people disappearing in San Mateo. We need to put a stop to it.
It's not hard to guess that los desaparecidos, the disappeared, have all been murdered. I've got notes and some truck the cartel uses to pick up the bodies. It's supposed to have a regular route like a fucking garbage service.
That's it? What about its route, its schedule?
Nothing specific. Oye, amigo, this was hard enough to get as it is. I just know that the truck's last stop is a place where the cartel gets rid of the bodies. What about my story? There are dozens of families, hundreds who need answers to what happened to their loved ones.
When we get answers, you'll be the one to spread the word.
Adios. And gracias.
I'm going to wait here for Pacatari. You should find that truck.
Chances are with this size operation, the jail cells unlock automatically when the power goes out.
So we take out the Jenny.
We gotta find it first. Come on. He's down. Those cell doors might
I could
be
not
unlocked.
hit the sniper to save my life. Thankfully I didn't really need to, it was just for a bit of safety, so instead I just decided to give up on it and run along.
Jenny's down. Those cell doors must be unlocked. Let's talk to one of these prisoners. Hey, I need your help with something. We've been trying to figure out what happens to the people who disappear in San Mateo.
What happens to them is el pozolero.
Stew maker? But what does he do with the bodies? Where are they?
He takes the corpses and stuffs them into oil drums, then covers them with lejía. What's the English?
Lye. Caustic soda.
This guard just did not want to spot me. He kept getting really close, but never quite engaged until I was ready to leave.
There are no bodies left to find.
Hold on. So now we've got a name, we need more info on El Pozolero. A way to go after him. He's the only one who can lead us to any of the remains.
Nomad, I've gone through those files you snagged in Rosario. There's nothing on the missing people in there.
Is there anything on El Pozolero? We've got a description of the truck that makes his regular deliveries.
But nothing on the truck's route or its schedule. It's like this truck just roams the countryside, and anybody put in the back just vanishes.
Well, it isn't supernatural. Here, the Rosario's files have info on the truck's route. I'm sending it to you now. Get your mitts on the driver and make him tell you his final destination. That's where all the remains will be.
Got it.
We're going to park here and wait for the truck to come to us. I'm also going to snag a car just in case, so if I need a backup, I can get in and chase after the truck.
I copy.
According to our intel, there's a cartel death truck that collects corpses across San Mateo and delivers them to someone called El Pozolero. Intercept the truck and force the driver to give up El Pozolero's location.
You do have to be insanely careful when firing at the front of this truck. Too many stray shots clipping the driver can just kill him outright, which will cause you to restart the mission. Thankfully I didn't need my backup car, and while it may look like my helicopter is at black smoke, that's actually the truck here, so everything's good.
Coopere todo salva bien.
You guys all good? Damn, I love this job.
For serious? Fuck no, I'm not that Diablo. I just drive the truck, way, nada más.
Tell me his name and where to find him.
His name's Raul something. Raul Morillo. You sure you want me to tell you where he is?
Motherfucker, tell me where El Pozolero is. I ran out of patience 2 days ago.
All right, I'll tell you where he is. Pero we should never found out.
Bowman, this is Nomad. The driver gave us El Pozolero's real name, Raul Murillo. He also gave up Pozolero's location.
Outstanding. I'll run Murillo's name and send you whatever background I can find.
This one's weird, Bowman. These cartel goons are staying away from El Pozolero like he's got the plague.
As I get into the helicopter here, I realize the blades are actually really close to the cliffside, so I was very concerned that as soon as they started spinning, I'd end up breaking them.
Alive. Otherwise, we'll never get confirmation on these missing people.
Just got a file transfer from Bowman. Looks like she was able to dig up some background on El Pozolero. I don't like this. We got no idea what we're walking into.
I'm getting like tense, you know? Kind of like a little nervous.
Bowman said there were a lot of variables.
I'd only timed this part of the run once before, and it had gone exceedingly well. So trying to keep pace with that, I was going really fast here, and in the end, I paid for it because I crashed straight into the light post.
Coming up on the cartel base now. Let's go. Wait.
That LT's getting away.
I got eyes on El Pozolero. Remember, we need him alive. Manos arriba. Let me see those hands.
Hola, señores. You're taller than the usual delivery people.
Sniper!
Thankfully, El Pozolero doesn't really need a helicopter. Yes, it's definitely faster, but the roads do travel in the direction we want to go, so in-car isn't the end of the world. The real problems arise for the next mission after this, where we definitely need a helicopter, so after this, we will have to go find one.
you're staying overnight, I should probably have mi oso.
Your bear? Like a teddy bear?
Oh, it's not what you think. I'm not overly afraid of the dark, but Pepito will think I'm cheating on him. Nidia Flores once gave me a jirafa azul, and Pepito said the nastiest things to him. I had to spank him. Pepito, that is, not the giraffe.
Is this guy for real or is he fucking with us?
I think he's fucking for real. Something kept his mind from growing up the whole way.
Do all Americans curse as much as you do? Mierda. Se llama Dios. Madre.
Inigo Morales.
I don't know how this ended up as a gold split. Either way, we're paying for it now because we have to go find a backup helicopter, which will take some time. Thankfully, we do have that guaranteed backup helicopter that isn't that far away from that one rally point, so let's head there.
Nomad. Things are moving fast on Santa Blanca's side of the board. El Muro and El Sueño are at war.
This guy Sueño told Muro to kill his own brother?
After that, Muro paid Unidad to hit Sueño.
Guess that didn't go so well.
Not so much.
So now we let these assholes wipe each other out?
I wish. Unfortunately, Muro is one of our only shots at Sueño. They've been best friends since childhood. We need to know everything he knows.
Got it. So we grab El Muro before Unidad slips him out of Bolivia, or Sueño kills him.
What was the cartel thinking with El Usolero? Now that he's gone and the prisoners
I'll
are
fly.
free, the rest of Bolivia, of the world, can see how truly evil Santa Blanca is.
El Muro's turned on El Sueño, and now the cartel wants him dead. Get to him and bring him in before he disappears.
This next area is just filled with surface-to-air missiles, so flying low is definitely advised. But even if you fly as low as you can, you're going to get targeted from time to time, so you're just going to have to get used to dodging them and hope for good luck.
Got small arms fire. El Muro's Unidad buddies are trading shots with Santa Blanca.
Alright, we go in and we find El Muro. El Muro's on the move.
Let's get the motherfucker.
We need him alive. I say again, we need that HVT alive.
Come here, fuckface.
Back off, puto! Get your fucking hands off me! Chingada madre!
We got cartel Sicario troops engaging us.
don't you stop right here, put a bullet in my brain and go about your fucking business. Maybe we just like your company, Muro. Isn't every day we meet a genuine Billy badass.
You got huevos, I give you that. But you pendejos are just as people for my way to killing El Sueño.
Two men like you being friends. You all had to know one day you were gonna try to kill each other.
Maybe. True amigos are a rare thing in this line of work.
You can always count on blood.
A huevo. Between mi jefe y mi hermano, the church will always be mi hermano. I'm gonna skin that pendejo Sueño and I'm gonna hang his fucking face on the wall. For like a trophy, you know?
Yeah, I get the idea.
But you? I ain't gonna take no trophy when I kill you. You ain't worth it.
This is it, El Muro. Welcome to the end of your illustrious career.
I like you, Yankees. You always know how to dream.
From here on out, we're taking down production provinces, and unfortunately, pretty much all of the good mission skips are behind us. Now we're going to have to do pretty much every mission in each province.
Nomad, you'll want to hear this. The activity found a message for you on one of Santa Blanca's websites.
A message for us.
There aren't any other 4 Americans causing trouble for Sueño. He says he wants to talk. He's acting like he'll negotiate, sing Kumbaya and hug it out.
The meeting's bait. But it could also be a chance to draw Sueño out.
Sure. It's also a chance to get yourself killed. There's nothing to stop this from becoming a two-way shooting gallery.
Send us the info. If he wants to throw lead, we can throw lead.
I don't think you understand. This is a bad idea.
Bowman, I understand. Send us the info and we'll decide.
Fine. Do what you want. Bowman out.
Bowman, we're in Tabacal province. What can you tell us?
Tabacal was once a major coffee producer, but over the last few years, Santa Blanca has forced the coffee growers to become cocoleros instead, growing leaf exclusively for the cartel.
Who's our target?
A cartel boss named Madra Coca. The cocoleros are terrified of her. Take a look at the video I just sent and you'll understand why. She runs Tabacal like her own mini cartel. Production of coca leaf, distribution by truck and train, and enough security to keep the cocoleros in line and the convoy secure. All of it run with ruthless efficiency. I'm in contact with a small group of rebels. They're willing to help us fight the cartel if we can prove our good intentions.
You got any suggestions?
2 things you can do to earn their trust. First, an old cocolero named Chavez has been trying to get the farmers to stand up to the cartel. Word is he's giving a speech to the cocoleros at the agricultural cooperative. Make contact with him there and keep him safe.
What else?
Supposedly, the cartel collects their coca in this province from a single farm. Ambush the cartel when they come for the coca. That should send a message to the cocoleros and disrupt Madra Coca's production.
Ready? Looks like the cocoleros are putting together a big shipment to hand over to the cartel.
Hold up.
This is one area where the new helicopter controls really shine. Because I can aim the mounted weapons, I'm not completely reliant on my squad to take care of everything for me, and instead I can help pick off targets that I see wherever I see them.
Madre Coca's enforcers arrive every night to collect the coca leaf harvest at a local farm. I want you to set an ambush for these assholes and send a message to Madre Coca that the rules of the game just changed.
They got reinforcements.
Back to business. Looks like the Cocaleros are putting together a big shipment to hand over to...
Wait.
We're done here. The cartel won't get any coca from these guys anymore. Now we exfil and wait for the fallout.
A respected Cocalero named Chavez is trying to spur the locals to revolt against Madre Coca. We need to keep him alive at all costs.
Up in the agricultural cooperative now.
There's Chavez.
Everyone on the ground, get down!
This mission can be something of a pain. The Union leader doesn't really have that much health, so even one enemy getting by can be a huge problem. So I start off with the same strategy as BNH 247 and order my squad to go defend the front.
Who demonios are you? Did Madre Coca send you?
Expecting trouble, senor?
Oiga, you didn't answer my question.
I'm a friend, and I'm trying to keep you from making a big mistake.
Mistake? Usted que sabe? Since when is helping my people a mistake?
If you make this speech, people are gonna get killed. It's that simple. Madre Coca's gonna send in her people, and it's gonna get bloody.
So I should stay silent? That's your answer? Se equivoca. Then you are no better than Madre Coca. Get out of my way, gringo. I must speak with my people.
This is Nomad. We're at the agricultural cooperative. Chavez blew off our warning. He's about to speak to the Cocaleros.
The rebels say Chavez is the real deal. A true revolutionary.
He's a dead man walking. The cartel is not gonna let this slide.
Do whatever it takes to keep Chavez alive. That'll show the rebels we're serious about stopping Madre Coca.
On it. I need you there.
Copy that.
Before the cartel came, we were our own men. Hombres libres. Sembrábamos café.
First two waves to defend against are both cars coming in the front, just different directions, so I figured getting up there with my grenade launcher is probably my best bet.
We're good. You all in one piece?
Hello, get out.
We live in constant fear. It's not right. We deserve better. Esto, camaradas,
No need to stress these people out. Keep the guns down.
Yo, we got hostiles.
These rebels are fighting desesperadamente for the
Tango's just got a wake-up call.
No los podemos dejar solos. Together.
Next up you have enemies on foot coming from the rear, so head back there. And right about here, I get completely distracted by the lieutenant and his red blob that I completely forget where the next wave is supposed to be coming from. So I run up to the front, and instead they're coming from the rear that I haven't defended.
We're clear over here. God, these fuckers are sloppy.
As I'm sprinting back to go defend against the guys who spawned in, I am looking at the Union leader's health, and thankfully it's still at 100%. Oh, and there it's gone. That mission fail really hurts. Of course you have to repeat the entire mission, and it is just on a timer essentially, but you also have to run about 350 meters just to get back into the mission.
Move there.
Roger that.
demonios are you? Did Madre Coca send you?
Expecting trouble, senor?
Oiga, you didn't answer my question.
I'm a friend, and I'm trying to keep you from making a big mistake.
Mistake? Usted que sabe? Since when is helping my people a mistake?
If you make this speech, people are gonna get killed. It's that simple. Madre Coca's gonna send in her people, and it's gonna get bloody.
So I should stay silent? That's your answer? Se equivoca. Then you are no better than Madre Coca. Get out of my way, gringo. I must speak with my people.
This is Nomad. We're at the agricultural cooperative. Chavez blew off our warning. He's about to speak to the Cocoleros.
With how easy it is to take out vehicles with the grenade launcher, I decided it was better to position my squad at the back to try and distract the loose guys who are going to come in, and that way I don't have to be as vigilant on it.
That'll show the rebels were serious about stopping Madre Coca.
On it.
Before the cartel came, we were our own men. Hombres libres. Sembrábamos café and tended our field with pride. What are we now? ¿Qué nos ha
Maybe
hecho
we should keep the
Madre
guns
Coca?
down, make sure we're not scared.
I will tell you. She has
Clear
made
over
us
here.
slaves. We grow coca for her to keep our familias, nuestros hijos safe. We live in constant fear. It's not right. We deserve better. Esto, camaradas, debe parar. A few brave souls are standing up to Madre Coca and the cartel.
Clear over
These
here.
rebels are fighting desesperadamente for the sake of the entire province. And we owe them our help. No los podemos dejar solos. Together, we can stop up to the cartel and say, no más. Esta es la lucha de todos.
The rat of the cage.
Before the cartel came, we were our own men.
That's brother straight shot to the cartel.
Fucking hell.
Tended our field with
Enemy down.
What are we now? ¿Qué nos ha
Looks
hecho
like the
esta
film
diabólica
closed.
mujer? ¿Qué nos ha hecho Madre Coca? I will tell you. She has made us slaves. We grow coca for her to keep our familias. It's not right. We deserve better. Esto, camaradas, debe parar. A few brave souls are standing up to Madre Coca and the cartel. These rebels are fighting desesperadamente for the sake of the entire province.
Watch it, you just killed a civilian.
Looks like they're feeling froggy. We're clear over here.
The mission's basically over now, and I realized since I'd already failed it once, I lost the helicopter that I brought in. So I needed a vehicle, and preferably a fast one. The next mission can be gotten to by road, so a car will do, and that's what we'll do.
Bowman, we wrapped it up. Chavez is secure.
Good work. Keep digging for intel on Madre Coca's operations. We need to know where the coca leaves are going and where they're being stored prior to transit.
Roger that. We're on it. Looks like an old freight yard up ahead. Signs of cartel activity.
This might be some sort of logistics hub they use for moving coca leaves.
Let's take a closer look. Coming up on the target. Damn. Hold up.
Shit.
It is possible to blow up this objective through the wall. I knew that from BNH 247's run. I just forgot about it in the heat of the moment and ran around the wall anyway. There is one more objective on this side of the map, but there's also a mortar that can be problematic, so I'm going to take both of those out before I go over to the other side.
Frag out.
We got a sniper, get down!
Target down. We gotta hit the last stock.
Grenade, move, move, move! Grenade, get to cover!
Get to cover. Move. Fucking sniper's got a 0.
Must have been $10 million worth of coca leaves in
As
that
I'm
stock.
attempting to fire on the sniper, I realize I'm out of ammo on my P90, so I switch over to my assault rifle, which is still in grenade launcher mode, which is also out of ammo. That takes a minute to sink in, so it takes me a moment to switch over to the normal mode on it. And in the end it was all pointless anyway because the sniper ran behind the tower and there's really nothing I could do to him at that point.
Ready? Fire, fire, fire.
Roger. Fuck. Engaging.
The lieutenant's trying to escape.
Sniper, get down. They know we're here.
It's a route planned for a convoy that moves along the death road.
This next mission we need to destroy a convoy and capture someone inside of it, so I'm really going to want my P90 and the grenade launcher, so I need to get ammo for them, now. Checking out my minimap, I made the judgment call, the one that was on this side of the compound's wall was probably easier for me to get to. That probably isn't actually true.
Something like this. Salazar was 17 years old and working in the fields when Madre Coca took over Tabacao. She took a liking to him from the start. Said he reminded her of her own son, who died when he was about Jorge's age. She offered Jorge a job. Jorge's father protested. So, she had the old man stuffed in the sack of tires and set him on fire. Jorge has been her adopted son and right-hand man ever since.
That's seriously fucked up.
Salazar's probably the one person in the world Madre Coca really trusts. We grab him. It'll turn her world upside down.
We'll see what we can do.
More of these assholes just pulled up.
Go.
Roger.
For this next mission we need to kidnap Salazar, and to do that, we need to damage the vehicle he's in enough for it to stop. Because he is part of a convoy, we'll also need to watch out for the escorts, because they'll be full of guards. Ideally, we'd launch grenades at the 2 escort vehicles, then grab Salazar, toss him in a vehicle, and get out of there. This does not go ideally. I'm pretty slow at switching between the grenade launcher mode and the normal rifle mode of my assault rifle, so for the most part I tend to just leave it in grenade launchers so that I never have to worry about it. In this case, I had it in normal assault rifle mode because of the previous lack of ammo. So, I don't shoot a grenade at first, and instead I shoot normally for a bit, and then remember to switch over and destroy one of them. By that time though, the other one gets close enough to Salazar's vehicle that blowing it up might blow up Salazar. I try to switch back to my P90, but by the time I do so, the guards are already shooting at me, and I end up going down because of it. That chains into allowing Salazar to find a new vehicle and try and escape. Thankfully, he doesn't get too far, as my squad does damage his car enough, but it does take some time to go collect him.
Hey, leave him alone already. Detainees again?
I've got eyes on Salazar. Target mark. Let's take him alive. Coopere todo saldrá bien.
You hear me?
Come, mierda, you might as well kill me now. I won't tell you anything.
Why? Because you owe Madre Coca so much?
Watch your tongue, pendejo. You don't know anything about her.
I know she stuffed your father in a stack of tires and set him on fire.
Father was weak. He got what he deserved. Madre Coca's taken better care of me than he ever did. You're dead, hijo de...
You're dead, hijo de puta. You hear me? You know who the fuck I am? You're Madre Coca's boy, right? She used to wipe your ass and tuck you in at night. The hell did you just say? Shut your whole mama's boy. You're coming with us. Someone wants to talk to you. Coming up on the rally point.
Heads up. This is our stop.
Suck my dick, blanquiñosa de mierda.
I'll pilot.
Hey man, try to take us off some sweet jumps, alright?
Bowman just uploaded some names for us. Looks like Salazar finally talked. It's a list of Santa Blanca snitches working inside the farmers' co-op. You know what to do. We take them out.
We were waiting on a call from Bowman to unlock the Madre Coca mission. Completely forgot where that mission is supposed to start. I knew I was in the right general area, but not exactly where I needed to be, and so it was entirely luck that I was that close.
This is Bowman. We got her. Holy shit, we got her.
Say again?
I just heard from my rebel contact in Tabacal. Madre Coca's reached out to them. She thinks they're the ones who've got Salazar, and she wants him back. She wants to set up a meet to negotiate.
You believe her?
I believe she wants Salazar. The rest doesn't matter. We've got Madre Coca right where we want her. You can accompany the rebels to the meet. Talk to her. Convince her that if she wants Salazar back, she's got to play along. I'm sending coordinates for the RV now. The rebels will take you to the meet. I'm counting on you to keep things from getting out of hand, Nomad. We need Madre Coca alive.
Madre Coca says she's willing to negotiate for Salazar's release. The old bitch sounds desperate. We could use this to turn her against El Sueño. All you have to do...
Bowman, we're coming up on the RV now.
Good. The rebels are waiting. Follow them, and they'll lead you to Madre Coca.
Yours those Yankee soldiers?
That's right.
Follow us.
Getting in the helicopter here was a massive mistake. Because I got too close to the rebels, they freaked out and it ended up breaking their mission AI. I attempted to move far enough away in hopes that it would get them unstuck, but that didn't seem to be happening, so instead I just went back and had to reset the mission, which I did by killing the rebels we need to follow to auto-fail it. This does lose me my helicopter, but that doesn't matter anyway, because we're going to be fast-traveling after this mission.
Everybody else hold back.
I don't like it. If she makes a play, you'd be cut off. We'd never get to you in time.
Jesus, Holt. You sound like my mother.
You take your mother to a lot of hostage negotiations, boss?
Look, Madre Coca's got no more reason to trust us than we do her. If I roll up on her with the whole team, it could sour the deal. So we play this one straight until we know different. Understood?
Whatever you say, boss. You know I got your back.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm counting on. need you there.
Copy that.
Move there. I asked Pakatari to send us a vehicle. Bowman, we're coming up on the RV now.
Good. The rebels are waiting. Follow them, and they'll lead you to Madricoca.
I'll drive.
Yours those janky soldiers?
That's right.
Follow us.
Go on, I'll be right with you. I ain't gonna lie, boss. I've got a bad feeling about this one.
You think Madricoca's playing us?
Shit, this chick is tougher than alligator hide. Of course she's playing us.
Bowman thinks Salazar's her blind spot. Madricoca will play along if she thinks she can get it
After
back.
losing roughly 2 minutes to breaking this mission's AI once, I was being pretty impatient here. Mixed with having only done this section once off the clock, I spaced out on what the exact route to take was, and ended up having to backtrack to catch up with the rebels. Not a huge loss since the rebels do drive so slow, but still something to improve on in the future.
Just to draw us out so Madricoca can grab one of us. Then she'll have somebody to trade for Salazar.
The hell makes you think she'd do that?
It's what I'd do. And Madricoca is a hell of a lot meaner than I'll ever be. You know what I'm saying?
We're coming up on the meet. Stay cool. We're here to talk. But her crew starts slinging lead. Don't hesitate. Slaughter the fuckers.
If she's playing us, she better make her first shot count, because I guarantee she ain't getting another.
I heard that.
Ambush! Light these assholes up!
This grenade was fired with no intention of actually doing damage, but instead in the hopes it would move Madricoca forward in response to the explosion and putting us into the hunted state.
Bowman, this is Nomad. Madricoca's dead.
What the hell happened?
It was an ambush. Madricoca never had any intention of negotiating.
We want to break away from combat as soon as possible to enable us to fast travel back to Itacua Echo one last time. From there we'll head into Ocoro for real now.
She knew you couldn't resist taking a run at her. The only mistake she made was thinking we'd go down easy once the trap was sprung.
Yeah, I hear you. I still think it was worth the risk. Turning her would have been one hell of a coup. Take your team and disappear.
I've got the bike.
I'll catch up with you. Opening fire.
B&H 247 stops just up ahead in his record run and waits for a phone call from Bowman that never comes before continuing onward. I'm not sure what phone call was expected here, as I haven't gotten one on either this attempt or the untimed attempt before this. I also don't remember a second Ocoro call from my casual playthroughs, although that might just be me forgetting things. Supposedly that call is what enables us to discover the boat lab mission that we're going to head to next, but we can just head there right away and we'll discover it.
Ready?
The numerous snipers in this area can do some serious damage to the helicopter as we try and land and leave, so I just choose to take out these ones here before continuing on.
Sniper!
Yo, rally up.
Roger, moving.
Move your asses. This thing's about to blow.
The explosion doesn't happen until a couple of moments after the timers disappeared, and I'm not sure if that delay was expected or if that was caused because we got too far away too quickly. The last time I did it I didn't take note of it, and so I plan on testing this soon.
Any day you blow shit up is a good day.
Alamasario's gonna have to deal with this quick, or his granddad will skin him alive.
We'll keep turning up the heat until he jumps. Then we get him. I see a second target. I got a third target.
Coming up on the objective.
I take out the alarm in this area to stop them from summoning reinforcement helicopters. I did forget that there's a secondary alarm to the south of here, and we still get a Santa Blanca helicopter coming in because of it.
They're on alert.
Opening fire. Shit, take cover.
Frag out. Then you...
Right after grenading this helicopter, I realized it might be in line to land on top of mine, which could cause damage to it or even cause it to explode. Thankfully it wasn't, but I should be more careful of that in the future.
Hold on.
It seems the Unidad chopper in the area ends up fighting the Santa Blanca, so we get to leave unhindered. If that heli had decided to chase us at all and had any weapons, we'd probably have been shot down since we were already at black smoke.
Find the access code to the cocaine factory and...
Yeah, that's the plan.
The next mission starts, similar to the Salazar mission that we just did a bit ago, in that there's a convoy to destroy and one person we need to get out of it without killing them. When I noticed there was an easy replacement helicopter close by, and with our helicopter already in black smoke, I was arguing if it was worth swapping. In the end, losing a bit of time to swap helicopters seemed worth potentially failing the first part of the mission because my helicopter got destroyed.
I got it. I'll fly.
Back up.
All right, good to go.
Starting this mission off, we need to eliminate the escorts. The absolute fastest way to do that would be to get out and use a grenade launcher. After that though, the target vehicle will bolt, and you can't grenade it or risk killing the assistant. In my previous attempt, using the grenade launcher strats allowed the target vehicle to get enough of a head start that once you got back into your helicopter, there is a good deal of chasing to do. So this time I opted to use the mounted weapons on my helicopter to do the work for me and eliminate the escort vehicles. All the while, my squad would hopefully be safely chipping away at the target vehicle without killing the assistant. The assistant is in the back passenger seat of the target vehicle, so strafing a few rounds into the front driver's side seemed acceptable to me while I had the chance. After that, though, I just got excited and swept the target car wildly before I realized I could have just killed the assistant. Instead, I pull up close to let my squad do the work.
Watch your shots. We still need him to talk.
After a little bit of following the truck, I was starting to get impatient, as my squad appeared to not be firing all that often. The impatience was unwarranted and stupid for two reasons. First, because it could force me to restart the mission, which would be way more of a time loss, and second, because the truck is headed right towards the place we want to be going anyway. As long as my squad doesn't fail to kill the truck before we reach the factory that we're headed to, there's really not any time lost to worry about. It's completely irrelevant to the speedrun, but I find it really funny that when we interrogate the driver of the death truck in San Mateo, Nomad claims to have run out of patience 2 days ago and takes no guff. But apparently here, Nomad has enough patience to let this guy rattle on about his kids with no real repercussions.
I've got pictures. You want to see them? No, I don't want to see the damn pictures. Just give me the access code and we're done.
Pero qué es eso? What's the matter? You don't like kids or something?
Jesus. You want to go home to Gustavo and Felipe? Just give me the damn number.
Tuvo bueno. Mire, it's 654-375. That's it, I swear.
Boom. You got the code.
I'm sending you a virus to upload into the factory's automation software. It'll screw with the chemical processing in subtle ways that'll spoil the coke, and break the machines when someone tries to remove it. That'll cost Santa Blanca a lot of product and take the factory out of action for months.
The truck the assistant was in is still going, and you can see that the route they escaped through does go right through the factory we want to be at. The place has both a SAM site and an alarm, so it's not really feasible to fly around and let your squad clear the area and then go do the mission. So instead, we come in hot, clear the local area, and then start accomplishing the mission while the squad is left out front to distract the guards and hopefully kill off some of them.
Run around and break shit. Copy that. Tangos are marked. What's the word? Hit the dirt, helicopter.
Controls are foobarred. That'll shut the factory down for months.
Where to next?
Let's search the warehouses. We take out any cocaine stocks we find, then we exfil.
Copy that.
Right here I realize I'm out of explosives, as I haven't restocked after the previous mission. It was really convenient that I managed to take out the helicopter on the first shot, otherwise that would have been a bit of a struggle.
Yo, man down.
I hear one of my squad go down. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world by any means, until suddenly the other two join them. At that point, if I go down, that's mission over. So my main objective now becomes stay alive as best as possible.
Grenade, move.
At this point, I'm pretty much just panicking. This whole section's kind of a blur, where I'm just running from combat to combat. I do think I can credit the bullet resistance bonus medal we picked up earlier with being the only reason I don't die here.
Grenade, move. Sniper.
Now that I'm out of the immediate threat, I have time to open up the stockpile, grab some ammo, and destroy it, and then start heading back.
Frag out. Come mierda, culeros. Taking out the stockpile. Let's go.
My next goal here is to slowly work my way back to my squad, get one of them on their feet, and then continue with the mission. So long as one of them gets back on their feet, it's unlikely they'll get downed again immediately, so likely they'll pick up the other members and we're back to full strength. The helicopter I brought in does explode here, which is inconvenient, but thankfully there is one at the other side of this compound. It's just quite a ways away. I thought I'd cleared everyone in immediate line of sight, so I start rezzing one of my teammates, but then almost immediately I start getting shot. I considered stopping the heal and getting into cover again, but I decided to power through and just get him on his feet. In the end, that's an alright decision, as I don't go down and he does get up, so it does save us some time as he immediately starts rezzing my teammates, and it gets us back to safety. I do make sure to destroy the SAM site here, because we will be flying over this area a bit later, and it's just nice not to have to worry about dodging the missile.
Shift position.
Copy.
Rally on me.
Roger that.
By the turret.
Near the turret. Watch out. Damn, that was a shitload of whole boat we just wrecked. Somebody's gonna be pissed.
This'll put El Emisario's nuts in a vice. He'll have to come out of hiding to deal with the fallout, and then he's ours.
Nomad, this is Pat Katari. The damage you've done in Ocoro has made El Emisario very nervous. He's terrified of what El Yayo will think when he finds out how much production capacity has been lost.
Sounds good so far.
I get a bit turned around looking for this ammo, and in the end it's not even important, because the next location I'm going to has an ammo that I'm going to basically be sitting on top of.
Son of a bitch.
We must keep the cartel from taking over the hospital. It's vital to the people of Ocoro and to my people as well. I have sent a small force to defend the building, but it's not enough. They won't last long without help.
Understood. Tell your people we're on the way.
El Emisario is staging an attack on a local hospital.
Fuck! Sniper!
And Katari needs help to defend it. It's your call, but helping Katari now will buy us a lot of support later on.
I parked the helicopter here because it's a nice open location and it's also decently safe. None of the enemies should get anywhere near it, and so long as I'm careful with my explosives, there's not any risk of it blowing up.
Coming up in the hospital now. Doesn't look like El Emisario's made his move yet. Let's find the rebel CO and tell him we're here.
Right behind you, boss.
¿Qué tal, compas? You've come just in time. My scouts tell me El Emisario's men are on the way.
How's it looking here?
We've sent away as many doctors and patients as we could. Plus a few trucks loaded with medicines and vaccines. That way, if the hospital is lost, at least there will be something left for the sick and injured. Ya pues. My daughter was born in this hospital. Now here I am, carajo. Defending it from cartel thugs who want to turn it into one of their damn cocaine labs. Is nothing sacred to these people?
Nothing but death, Kumpa. That's why we're here. El Emisario's men can hit the place at any moment. We need to get dug in tight before the shooting starts.
Roger that.
All these defend the point missions are basically played out the same way. They have fixed enemy spawns, and most, if not all, enemies arrive in a vehicle, which means they can just be taken out with a single grenade launcher grenade. The real risk is if they get out of their vehicles, because they become a lot harder to kill overall.
Rather than press brothers trading shots with cartel. We want to back them up. You guys all good? Damn, I love this job. Looks like they're feeling froggy. Rather than press brothers trading shots.
Get away from there!
Looks like they're feeling froggy.
Copter, get down.
Engaging tangos.
We're clear over here. God, these fuckers are sloppy.
All tangos are down. Area's secure.
This is Bowman. Looks like you really stirred the shit in Ocoro. Word of your attacks has got back to El Sueño, and he's out for blood. El Yayo's trying to cover for his grandson, but he's caught between a rock and a hard place. El Sueño is demanding an explanation from El Emisario, and El Yayo's trying to come up with a solution that keeps his grandson alive.
What's this do for us?
El Yayo's been on the phone with El Emisario for most of the day, and we've been able to triangulate his position. This is our chance. El Emisario's twisting in the wind. We bring him in now, he'll give up everything he knows.
Give us the location. We'll take care of it.
Somebody want to explain to me why we're extracting El Emisario? We know he only got where he is now because of his granddad. It ain't like he's a mover and shaker in the cartel.
You got a better idea?
Sure, leave the asshole twisting in the wind. Why else did we go to all this trouble in Ocoro?
Emisario's just a pawn. Bowman's got his sights set on El Yayo. If El Emisario disappears, Sueño is gonna have to blame someone else for what happened here. He'll turn on El Yayo, which gives us an opportunity to bring him in.
Damn, when Bowman wants somebody, she don't fuck around.
You got that right.
Parachuting in here gives you the chance of being undetected, depending on where the guards are standing on the roof. In this case, I do get spotted, and my immediate reaction is just to fire with what weapon I have out, which is the grenade launcher. As I discovered in my casual playthrough, this mission's a bit weird, in that there's Unidad and Santa Blanca guards in the same place, and if something goes loud without an obvious target, they just decide to kill each other.
Killed himself rather than face his own grandfather. That's fucked up.
I feel like we drove him to it.
Come on, man, stop it with that shit. He made a choice.
We need to check the
After we
body.
grab the note, we
See
just
if
need to get
there's
the
anything on it.
helicopter into
Hey,
the
it's got a
southeast.
suicide
It's
note.
pretty simple, just mantle a
No
couple
bad.
walls and run straight there because the guards are killing each other, like I was saying.
He killed himself. Left a note to El Sueño taking the blame for the loss of the labs in Ocoro. Guess the shame of failing his grandfather was just too much to take.
That little shit. We had El Yayo by the nuts, and now this.
Guess he wasn't quite the fuck up we thought he was.
He just didn't break the way we expected him to. It happens sometimes.
But you do this sort of thing a lot?
I do whatever it takes to get the job done. Same as you. Heads up, Nomad. Looks like La Gringa just hit her expiration date with the cartel.
What do we know?
The damage you've done to cartel production forced La Gringa to start cutting the purity of her coat to keep up with demand. Maybe she was playing for time, hoping she could get things back under control before Sueño noticed. If so, she bet wrong.
Now Sueño's going to make an example out of her.
There's a crew on the way to her house right now. La Gringa's got nowhere to run.
Unless we give her a way out.
Exactly. I need you to haul ass and get to her house in Prugio. Convince her she's better off with us than with Sueño and get her to the extraction point.
Bien, camarada. Congratulations on defending the hospital from El Emisario's men. We couldn't have done it without you.
Don't mention it, Qatari. Just add it to your bill.
There is one more thing. Before El Emisario's men attacked the hospital, one of my people loaded a truck with vaccines and tried to get them to safety. Unfortunately, he was stopped at the Unidad checkpoint and the truck was confiscated. It's vital we get those vaccines, Yankee. The truck is at the Unidad base now. I know it's asking much of you, but frankly, there is no one else who can do it.
Understood. We'll see what we can do. Pujio village is just up ahead. Let's hustle and get to La Gringa before the cartel does.
Right behind you, boss.
Looks like some of Qatari's rebels are defending La Gringa's house.
What's going on here?
Who are you? What do you want?
We're your way out of this mess, understand? But we've got to move right fucking now.
I won't get far. Not like this. I know someone. He lives in a village not far from here. The rebels, they take their wounded to him when they can.
How well do you know that rebel doctor?
He won't talk to the cartel, if that's what you're afraid of. You don't scare him. He's the bravest guy I know. We met when I was working with the NGO. The fake NGO. He was the local guy.
In a few years and a few tons of coke later,
I screwed up my parking job here, and the driver's side is actually inaccessible. Thankfully, you can switch over to the driver's side from the passenger side, so I get into the passenger and switch seats from there.
Playing both sides.
Hell if I know. I came to believe to help people. That's all I was trying to do.
Let's go. Let's
Gotta
go.
hold on, Gringa. We still got a ways to go.
I don't know about that. I'm going to talk.
Is she gonna make it?
She'd better. What were rebels doing protecting your house?
That Qatari must have sent them to protect me. I feel cold. I'm starting to feel cold.
Why would Pat Qatari protect
Once we get La Gringa to the doctor, this becomes another defend the point mission, and the same rules as previous apply. I also don't really need to care about this helicopter. There's one that's going to be at the place we have to defend, and it's smaller, so it's easier to use than this one.
Don't quit on me now, lady. Sight's just up ahead.
Who are you? What do you want?
You know this woman?
What happened?
Believe me, Doc, it's better if you don't know. She's got a GSW to the shoulder. Can you help her?
Sí, por supuesto. Leave her with me. I'll do everything I can.
We'll buy you all the time we can, but you need to work fast. I've got a feeling Sueño's not done with her yet. Contact. Sueño sent another crew after us. Take him down.
Helicopter incoming. Got the helo. Get away. You're in bad shape. Take cover. Clear.
I need you there.
Roger. Target set. Ready to assault. They're on alert. I think that's all of them. Drifting too far apart. Moving back.
Sure are a lot of lights and switches up here.
What's the word, boss?
We've given the doc all the time we can. One way or another, we're getting La Gringa out of here. Okay, Gringa, time to go.
Please, just give me a minute. Please stop the bleeding. I got a fall and lead in my shoulder.
The cocktail the doc just gave you? I bet you can't even feel your face, let alone that bullet.
I'll be there.
We're leaving. You feel like you're gonna keel over or puke, just look at the horizon. It'll keep you steady. Okay, let's focus on the mission.
I've been using Sueño's money to buy medical supplies.
Pac didn't mention that shit to us.
How would I know?
We're at the extraction point. Let's get her to Bowman and call for a dust-off.
Coming up here is a very interesting bug that I found while running this game. It is possible to partially skip the briefings Bowman gives for an area. You may notice that Bowman acts as if we've been interrupted during the briefing, when this is the first time we've set foot in the province, so we couldn't have been interrupted previously. Conversations have checkpoints built into them, so that if they get interrupted, it can continue from the checkpoint that you last reached. We sort of saw this earlier with the Pakatari call that we interrupted way back in Itacua. Every time he would restart from that same "Hola, compadre" line. But if we let the call get in a bit further, he would start from a different line. So what can happen is if you hear part of a Bowman briefing on an area and then reach a conversation checkpoint in that call, so long as you don't finish the call, that checkpoint will be there even if you start on new save file. This could theoretically be used to chop most of the time we're waiting on Bowman in half, but it would be a massive pain to set up, as you kind of have to play the game to the furthest conversation you wanted to skip, and then cut out, and then play again to the next furthest, and then cut out, and etc. I didn't intentionally set this up for this run, but it was a side effect of some earlier off-the-clock practice I had done, so here it is. Going back and double-checking, this doesn't save us any time anyway, because turns out the conversation checkpoint we were at was the start of this briefing call anyway, so there was no skipped dialogue.
Sounds good. We're on it. We entering a new province?
Yeah. Verde. Map shows one major road which leads to the city of Verde. Other than that, looks like a lot of jungle.
Let's give Bowman a call. Bowman, we're crossing into the province of Verde.
Other than a lot of legal coca farms, there's a mine there owned by the cartel. The mine is the cartel's source for pyrolusite. It's used to make chemicals that purify the cocaine, make it nice and white or something.
I think we could screw up that step in production for you.
I don't have intel on who's running things in Verde. Be careful. Gather intel on the Buchan before making any big moves. Bowman out.
Poke the hornet's nest.
Ready? Engaging hostile.
Copy.
Got something here. Looks like the local boss is a guy named El Way. He has a house in a place called Riverine. Let's check it out. Bowman, the name of the buchon in Villa Verde is El Way.
El Way? We know him. I wasn't sure he was in Villa Verde. He's in charge of processing the pyrolusite into the chemical used to purify the cocaine. An Unidad lieutenant named Bento caused an accident in the processing plant that burned El Way's fucking face off.
Oh, so it was easy to spot in the crowd.
When the bandages came off, Lieutenant Bento made fun of Elway's hamburger face. Elway went after him and almost started a war. Sueño had to step in.
That sounds like a great lever to pull.
Frame Elway for the lieutenant's murder, the war starts up for real. I'll send you some intel on Elway. Bowman out.
Bowman just sent us a video starring none other than Bolivia's butt-ugliest comedian, Elway. Sure to be a barrel of laughs. Look at a target carrying some machine guns.
Right of the cage.
Get a load of this. It has to be the cartel's operations center for Villa Verde.
The local buchon should have quarters there. Let's take a gander. They know we're here.
This mission pretty much just always goes poorly. Between the amount of guards and the small space that they're in, I end up panicking or freaking out, and normally your teammates end up going down. And hey, that's exactly what happens here. I panic, and my team ends up fully down. My one remaining squad mate does manage to revive me, which is great, but it also did give me time to realize that the rest of my squad was down. So at this point, I just decide, let's book it for the objective and get out of here.
Grenade! Grenade! Man down. Just hold on to your shit. Man down.
Look at this little arsenal. I've got a plan to trap Elway. How about we kill the Unidad captain and leave Elway's signature shells at the scene to pin it on him? Sound good?
Devious. Make it happen.
I got eyes in a lab over here.
We should get Bowman on the horn before we turn that place into dust.
Right. I'll give her a heads up so she can get to finding the next one. Bowman, we found one of the pyrolusite labs.
Good work.
I got ahead of myself here, and I destroyed the generator before I actually got the mission, and normally by the time you've completed the mission, Bowman gives you the lead for Lab 2. In this case, you can see the Lab 1 mission pop up right as I'm getting ready to leave here. I thought that was Lab 2, and I just moved on.
I like the idea of this load of pesos and birdshot.
When I was a kid, a neighbor used to fill his shotgun with rock salt instead. That's some hardcore shit. Blasting salt into the wound.
Shit, he knows he's taking fire. I'm engaging tangos.
Check this out. The head of the miners' union in Villa Verde. This guy named Chango. Flat out hates how the cartel treats workers here.
Sounds like we have a lot in common.
Bet he'd be happy to lend us a hand with fucking.
This particular sniper deserves one hell of a promotion, because they managed to get me from no smoke to black smoke in the time it took me to take off. In the end, I decide I have to replace this helicopter, so I stop over for a local backup. I meant to switch over my P90 here, but accidentally switched to my assault rifle instead, which still had the grenade launcher selected, so grenade to the face. Boom.
On to the next one.
Talk to the local union leader in Villa Verde and see if you can get him to convince the miners to stop digging pyrolusite for the cartel.
They're coming right for us.
Fire.
I'm shooting these fuckers. Roger.
Cartel network station. Hit the door and knock out the control terminal.
¡Mierda! ¡Chingada madre! ¡Hay un putero de soldados gringos acá! ¡Mátenlos!
Shit, they spotted us. I'm on.
That's the union leader.
Let's go talk to him.
We hear you'd like to get those SB soldiers off your back.
Por supuesto. Who wants to work like a slave for those narcos?
If we could make that happen, would you be willing to abandon the mines for good?
Pero no pueden. You can just kill off every Santa Blanca soldier in the country.
If we could manage it, we would. But we can't take out enough of them for you to have the time to gather your families and flee.
Se lo agradezco mucho. Santa Blanca has taken over our place in San Marquesa. Clear out that mine, and we should be able to get free.
That we can make happen.
This mission's pretty straightforward. We're just going to get in the helicopter and have the squad do all the work. We'll shoot the miniguns if we need to, but realistically the squad will take care of most of this. And then we move on to the second location and do it all over again.
Clear that map. Hold on.
Oh, shots fired. Unidad's engaging the cartel. Looks like Unidad.
Look alive.
Hold on.
How are we looking?
We're clear over here. Clear. I can use some rounds.
Clear here. That got kind of stressful, huh? Well, if you didn't want to be a gunfighter, you should have joined the Peace Corps.
Open
Well
fire.
Ah, shit, we've been spotted.
We need to find a way to drive a wedge between El Way and Unidad's Lieutenant Bento. See what you can do.
That ought to keep their polvo from turning nice and white.
You know pyrolusite is used to filter water, too.
There are other ways to manage that, though, right?
Fuck it. I was drinking bottled water anyway. That's the alarms. Reinforcements won't be flying
Let's
in.
take them out. Going on.
Open.
Copy. It's gonna blow.
Fucking hell.
Because both the helicopter at this base and the one we came in just exploded, and we've completed the mission, I decide it's better to just take the death so it can respawn this helicopter and spawn us somewhere nearby so we can steal it, than try and deal with not having a helicopter at all.
Hang in there, I'm coming to you. With the shotgun shells there, Unidad will accuse El Way of the killing, and nobody's friends anymore.
Come on, let's go see what other trouble we can stir up.
Enemy activity, stay sharp.
Hold up, they're gonna see you. That was close.
I've finally realized that the Lab 1 mission never actually completed, and now I have to go backtrack to do that.
Their loss will set back the cartel's cocaine production for months.
dead for killing that officer. Sueño wants him dead to make peace with Unidad. And you destroyed the guy's pyrolusite operation. You gunslingers have fucked up Elway's world. For good.
I hope he isn't taking it personally.
You can ask him in person. If he wants to stay breathing, Elway's got nowhere else to turn but us. And I want to know what he knows.
Got a lead on his 20.
Unidad is hunting him down. Head to their base, see if you can find intel on his location there.
Jesus, you like giving us the impossible missions. Just give us a call if you find something out before we have to sneak into the devil's asshole, okay?
I thought you liked poking around the devil's asshole. Bowman out.
The frame-up worked. Unidad's after Elway's head. I need you to get to him first and extract him. We'll find him a place to lay low as long as he gives us everything he knows about the cartel.
There's the Unidad base.
We're crazy sneaking into there. We don't get paid enough.
Despite your squad mates saying it's crazy to sneak into this Unidad base, they're apparently pretty cool with it, because they let you just fly right in, grab the intel and leave without really giving you any problems at all.
According to this, Unidad has a tracker on Elway's car.
We better hurry then before they find him.
You really ought to let me drive. Okay, we're cool.
I got eyes on Elway. Ready? Open fire.
Roger.
Engage target.
I mentioned back in Ocoro that really shooting your miniguns from the helicopter at a high-value target is a stupid idea. Here's where that lesson really sunk in for me. I didn't have a backup for this section, so really I was just thinking I'm going to use the sports car to ram Elway off the road, snag him, and then get out. What I didn't realize is just how long the drive was going to be. Thankfully, in the process of getting there, we do pass by one of the backup helicopters I do know about.
Got eyes on Elway.
Copy. Opening fire on these fuckers. Sicarios are backing Unidad.
Get ready. Fire.
Ready. Call the shot. Copy.
Good shooting.
At least
Clean
they
up
had
and
to
move
send in
on.
some professionals to snag me. Respect, gringos.
Sure are a lot of lights and switches up here.
Oigo, no. I hate you pinches culeros de mierda. But I don't blame you. Like, es como... I know this was all business.
Thanks, El.
This loading screen was so long, it was absolutely agonizing during the run just sitting here watching.
It's Bowman. Looks like the damage you've done to the cartel's production network just paid another dividend.
What's up?
Forcing the Gringa and El Yayo to start cutting the purity of their cocaine has caused prices to drop and done a lot of damage to the cartel's rep.
Sucks to be them. What's it do for us?
We got La Gringa, but Sueño still needs a dog to kick. Yayo's managing production while the cartel keeps him prisoner in his own house. Extract El Yayo to an RP. Expect strong opposition. Word is the guards have orders to kill El Yayo if he tries to escape.
Roger that. This is the place.
There's not too much to say about the El Yayo mission. Pretty much everything goes as I expect, and despite the fact that it looks really chaotic, everything seems to always go pretty smoothly.
Bowman, we're entering a province called Espiritu Santo. Wait.
Engaging
Coopere
gringos.
todo saldrá bien. Hold up.
Vámonos. Taking you someplace safe.
I cannot leave. If the Sueños men see that I'm gone, the cartel will kill my family. Where exactly are you taking me?
There's someone who wants to ask you some questions about your activities with the cartel.
I'll tell you whatever you want to know. But only once my...
RP's just ahead. Nobody get comfortable. I get the feeling we'll be heading right back out again.
Roger that.
I should have known.
What happened? Wait, you know what? Never mind. Espiritu Santo is the base for Sueño's religious propaganda. Key to that is a woman named La Santera, a self-proclaimed Santa Muerta priestess with thousands of loyal followers. That witch has an uncanny ability to turn men with guns into fanatics. That's the shit that keeps me up at night. Narcos have been into Santa Muerte for decades, but most worshippers aren't cartel.
That's a small mercy. Got an angle on changing the mind of a fanatic?
You're gonna need to dig for intel. Find out how to take down La Santera in a way that will demoralize the Sicarios and turn the regular folk away from the cartel. When she loses her congregation, bring that bitch to me. Bowman out. What's going on out there? My guest is getting antsy. You find Yayo's family?
We're working on it.
Understood. Just hurry, okay? It's gonna be damned ironic if the dude has a coronary waiting for his wife and son.
Roger that.
¿Qué tenemos que hacer para que nos ayuden, eh? Por favor, sea bueno y sáquenos de esto. Hey, quien saque de ahí.
Por favor,
No
déjenme
me deje
ir.
aquí encerrado.
Por lo
No
menos
hice nada
déjenme
malo.
avisarle a mi familia dónde estoy.
Fucking hell!
Don't touch me! Calm down, Chewie. Your father sent us. You expect me to believe that? You can believe whatever the fuck you want as long as you shut up and follow instructions. Now follow me. Both packages secure.
This is it. You're safe now. Bowman. We're entering a province called Espiritu Santo.
Espiritu Santo.
Rodolfo.
Mi Rosita.
And one final small routing difference from the previous world record run. BNH 247 goes to Itacua Echo one last time, grabs the helicopter from the church that we've grabbed many times up to this point. I've actually found it's faster to go to Montauk here, and then either drive to a farm that's nearby that'll always have a helicopter, or if you haven't taken the helicopter from this base yet, you can take it immediately.
Hola, camarada. I have some very important information for you, my friend.
What happened?
El Sueño. One of my men claims to have seen him.
We've been in Bolivia all this time. This is the first of anyone who isn't cartel has seen El Sueño. Who is this man of yours?
You're right to be suspicious. The information isn't clear, but with all our recent success, we must have forced El Sueño to show his face. There are no buchones left to run things. This could be our chance, Nomad. We can force the cartel out of Bolivia.
Send us the location where you want to meet. We'll be there.
I'll pilot.
There is a SAM site over in the base to our left there, so we'll fly low and along the lake to avoid ever being targeted.
Hold up. Got eyes on a cartel resupply point. It's like heavy weapons and ammo.
We'll take it out.
We destroy those supplies, it'll cripple cartel ops in the province.
Copy that.
This is the RV. Something isn't right. Come on, move. Shit, I got a body here. It's that rebel leader Amaru.
We freed that guy from the cartel.
Trying to call Pac, but it isn't going through.
Think Pac and his rebels threw down with the cartel, and Pac had to run?
It doesn't look like there was much of a fight here. I'm calling Bowman. Maybe she's heard from Pac. Bowman, we've got a situation. You set up a meet with Pac and one of his guys.
With Pac? Where are you?
Listen. Instead of Pac, we found Amaru. He's been killed. Have you heard from Pakatari?
Pakatari is here with me in Pucara.
Bowman.
The hell is going on here?
No idea. But we gotta get to Bowman. fast.
Never thought I'd hear myself say this about a CIA officer, but if they hurt her, I'll burn this whole fucking country down to get back at them. Right there with you, man.
Bowman said Pac was with her. Then the call got cut off.
Might be the sat phone dropped the call.
Okay, there is one last difference actually between B&H 247's run and my own. He prefers to park in this little narrow alleyway that's in front of the door we're going to go to. I prefer to park out here in the snow because I've found that the helicopters that spawn in will shoot you down if you don't deal with them, and there are just so many vehicles and other explosives in the area that it's better to park farther away, somewhere where there's just not going to be explosions or the chance of explosions, than to risk the helicopter.
Bowman. Bowman, we're in Ocoro.
You know that annoying...
Wait, contact! Rebel hostiles! Ship.
Sniper, get the fuck down. Taking a shot.
After I've taken down the first helicopter, I come up to run up here in the snow just to hide out and wait for the second helicopter to spawn. We don't really need to fight the rebels down the road there, and they won't really get up here that quickly, so we should be safe. Unfortunately, as soon as I launched a grenade at the second helicopter, I realized it's perfectly in line with my helicopter, and there's every chance it's going to land on top of mine and destroy it. And sure enough, it lands right on top of mine. When the destroyed helicopter on top of mine lit on fire, I gave up on any chance of saving my helicopter. I decided that I was going to have to do this by car, which I had absolutely no practice with since my casual playthroughs. But right here I noticed that the helicopter was still on the minimap. It was alive! If I tried to take my helicopter as is, the blades would immediately break when they crashed into the wreckage of the destroyed helicopter on top of it, so if I could clear the wreckage, I should be able to still use my helicopter. So I decided I needed to go grab a car from down below, bring it up here, and clear the wreckage. I did get downed, so I was going to have to be careful going forward, but if I can get my helicopter, there really wasn't going to be any more difficulty or danger with this mission. It would just be smooth sailing up to El Sueño.
Got you, Lima Charlie, Pac. What the hell are you trying to do?
Same thing as you, amigo. Doing what's right for my country. El Sueño will die on Bolivia's soil. My people must know. The government must know. The other cartels must know. The rebels are not slaves for the Americans. We are strong on our own.
As I'd hoped, we were able to clear the wreckage of the destroyed helicopter without destroying our helicopter, so now it's just time to get to the mausoleum.
Ideals. But ideals do not feed people. Ideals do not build armies. Ideals do not take down corrupt governments.
Neither does getting your people killed.
My people know that if they die today, they will return tomorrow as thousands and thousands.
That's not gonna make it any less painful.
If there's one thing I've learned to embrace in this life, it's pain. A lesson I will soon teach to El Sueño. Now, unless you want to end up the same way, I suggest you leave Bolivia. Thank you for your help. Adios, camarada.
Fuck. Back. Sorry about the interruption.
No worries.
Hold on.
Going hot.
I hadn't been watching the clock very closely, and when I looked over and realized that I'd just beaten world record, I actually forgot to click the button to stop it. It looks like I missed about a second here, but oh well.
Show us your fucking hands, now!
I would. But unfortunately, my hands are full at the moment.
Where is he? I want to see the big bad Jefe.
Put it down.
As you wish.
I didn't mention this earlier, but about 20 minutes into the run, I realized I really needed to use the restroom. I had decided to just keep powering through, but as soon as the timer stopped, I was up and gone. When I came back, the credits were rolling, but I decided there was one last thing I wanted to do to celebrate.
Officer Bowman.
Hello? Sir? Yes. Yes, I don't understand. Sir... Sir, that is not possible. I am telling you that it's not... Please, I am asking you that you... Sir... Yes, I understand. Fuck!
Bowman?
Fuck you! Fuck!
Bowman, what is it? Bowman!
He got full immunity. He made a deal and he got...
A deal with who?
Who do you think? The DOJ?
Hold on. You're not
He
saying...
offered up the heads of 4 other cartels, plus 3 terror groups that traffic heroin.
His competition. How is this possible?
As I told you, if you have power, everything else follows. Now, if you don't mind, Senora Bowman. It seems that yesterday you were my adversary. Today you are nothing but my chauffeur. Take me to your supervisors.
I'm sorry.
Bowman, no!
The dream is dead. If you're watching this, that means I have executed El Sueño. I'm certain that people will think I went crazy, that I did it out of emotion, that I broke. Fuck them. They're wrong. I knew exactly what I was doing. This piece of shit, this monster, tortured my friend, killed him, decapitated my partner, massacred thousands. And he gets to walk? Sorry, but not on my fucking watch. Given what El Sueño knew about Ricky Sandoval, he would have been unstoppable. Trivia question. What happens when you give immunity to a drug lord? Ding ding ding. You get a dictator. Taking out a drug lord is one thing, but stopping a dictator? You need a few more than 4 operators for that. My career, my freedom, my life is not worth more than the people of South America. Obviously, not everyone agrees, which is why I'm most likely now in a federal correctional institute, getting 3 hots in a cot for the next 45 to life for murder. By now, CIA has probably released an official statement saying the case officer in question is no longer employed by this agency and acted in direct opposition to her superiors. Her actions have caused great harm to the continued efforts of the intelligence community here and abroad. And guess what? They're right. I would have done the same thing as them. No hard feelings here. I just hope they don't leave Bolivia. Without Pakatari, the rebellion will tear itself apart with infighting. Unidad will make a deal with the next criminal organization that comes along, and the remains of Santa Blanca will split off and form new mini-cartels, all with shitty names like Nueva Frontera Cartel, Barrio Familia, and Los Hijos del Sueño. Everyone will continue killing each other for that coca. I wonder, if God knew all the destruction that this little leaf would bring, would she have still created it? Or maybe that's exactly why she did. I don't even know anymore. But it's no longer my question to answer. So I leave you with this. In the dying words of Augustus, founder and first emperor of the Roman Empire, have I played the part well? Then applaud as I exit. Bowman out.
While this run might be done, I'm not done running this game in general. I want to get the time under 3 hours, and with how many mistakes I made in this run, I think that's easily doable. I figured what better way to celebrate than to parachute off the top of El Sueño's mausoleum.
Sniper, down, down!
A partir de la madre con puro pinche cañonazo. Háganlo ahora. Vámonos, cabrones.
I had forgotten about this congratulations screen, but as soon as I saw it, I just burst out laughing. It seemed like the perfect way to end the video. Congratulations, you beat world record.